Today we're going to be walking along Benson Avenue in the, I guess you could say, the Bath Beach section of Brooklyn, but also at some point through the Bensonhurst section of Brooklyn. And right now I am on the corner of Stillwell Avenue and Benson Avenue, which is pretty much where Benson Avenue ends. And we will start our walk now. We'll probably take it the full length here. So, hope everyone's having a good day. Now, Benson Avenue has a lot of personal history for me, starting with this building right here on my left. That is Lafayette High School. I went to Lafayette High School from 1988 to 1992, so that, for all the new people that have just found my channel that don't know, now you all know my age, if you figure it out. This right here used to be just a big asphalt softball field. And they turned it into a park a few years ago. It was a very nice park. It's actually called Lafayette Playground. And if I didn't mention it earlier, that was the we were right under the elevated train of the D line. And there goes a D train right there. Now, this walk that we're taking is a walk I took home from school many times. We will be passing by, we'll be passing by the house I lived in when I moved into the area back in '85. So, and that's all the way down on Bay 10th Street. Long ways away from where we are right now. We're on 26th Avenue, so just to give you an idea, Bay 10th Street is just one block south of 15th Avenue. So that's how far we're going to be going. A lot of the avenues down here and the streets are all stop signs. And that's because the traffic is pretty light on this end, but we'll start seeing traffic lights in about another few blocks. Benson Avenue is primarily a residential avenue, so you see many different types of homes. The other thing about Benson Avenue is Benson Avenue is kind of quirky. You guys will see that as we get down by 20th Avenue, where we did our last walk. It kind of detours a few times. So when we get there, you'll see what I'm talking about. Actually, it's a two-way avenue at this point. And then once you get to 20th Avenue, you have to turn. We'll have to make like a left and then a right. And then it becomes a one-way street from 20th Avenue down to 17th Avenue. This is where it gets confusing though. At 18th Avenue, if you want to get back on Benson, you've got to make a right and then a left. But the road continues and turns into something called Rutherford Place. Odd. It's an odd thing, so confuses a lot of people. And the post office is also located on Benson Avenue, 19th Avenue, which is called the Bath Beach Station, because this is technically Bath Beach. You know, when you get down past 18th Avenue, there's, you know, I've stated this in other times when I've done walks in the area. You know, you're going to get a lot of arguments with locals of what's Bensonhurst and what's Bath Beach. A lot of people are going to consider, you know, Benson Avenue part of Bensonhurst just by the fact that, you know, the name Benson. So, but technically it is Bath Beach. Today it is another cold day. It is basically a carbon copy of yesterday. It's really the same. 40 degrees, pretty. Winds aren't that bad right now. We're walking into the wind. That's the thing. So I'm feeling a wind chill. Unlike yesterday, I had the winds on my back, but I'm definitely feeling the wind today. Over the years, there's been some really old homes that are lining Benson Avenue that have been torn down and turned into, you know, those apartment buildings or those condo units. You can see over here on Bay 37th, you got a little string of these old homes, bungalow style homes. At one point, they could have been just one levels. I'm going to try and get past this light. Yeah, I'll make it. Once I'm in the middle of the crosswalk, cars can't go anywhere. So. Time is around 11 in the morning. Well, that was when I started the walk, so we are approaching noon time. And today's date is January 3rd. I still have some friends that I've known for a long time that live on Benson Avenue. So I'm not the only one that hasn't left Brooklyn. Got a Christ statue right here. You got some old homes right here that actually have been renovated. And then there's a home across the avenue I'll show you guys. That's pretty old, since probably the beginning of Benson Avenue. Let me just get on the corner here because I want to get out of the view of the cars, but there you go right there. All covered by the trees and stuff. Over here was a very old home. Like I was saying, they tear down the old homes. They tear down, the old homes, and they put up those condo units. This is 23rd Avenue. Now these two buildings here, I always talk about these two on the next block and this one right here, they're really the same building, carbon copy of each other. This one's called the Amherst. And I forget what the next one's called. We'll find out when we get over there. But they're carbon copy buildings placed on the corner here on Bay 32nd and Bay 31st. Well, there you go. I just remembered because I could see the shape of the font, but it's the Bradhurst. So you have the Amherst and the Bradhurst. And like you can see, they're identical buildings. That is the beeping for, I guess, visually impaired. People can hear that and be warned not to cross the street. Or be told to cross the street. I don't know which one's which, but... Now, right here on this corner, this is Bay Parkway. On this corner, you see that big building over there? That used to be a synagogue many years ago, because we used to hang out over here. Because the synagogue, so interestingly, the way the synagogue was set up, it was like you had to climb. It was a corner property, obviously. And there was like about, those long steps. Like visualize the long steps that you see at like, I don't know, the Brooklyn Public Library, or, those long granite steps that go up to the top. That wrapped around the whole corner, and then the synagogue was on top. And we used to hang out over there. We used to sit on the steps and hang out. They tore it down I want to say they tore it down in like 2001. So that building's been standing there since, I think they finished building that building in 2002 or whatever, but it's been around for over 20 years. Now there's another synagogue over here which is still around on 21st Avenue. I don't know if you can hear that wind, but it is really picking up a little bit. Oh, I'm going to take this light too. Just walking right through all these lights. So this is the synagogue I was telling you about that is still here. This is 21st right here. Now we're going to be hitting that first detour I was telling you about. We're going to run right into 20th Avenue and have to make a left. You get over here, you see some old homes. So these are still intact. They have not been torn down. Who knows what will happen when they sell. Still got an old TV antenna up there. See that old TV antenna? Some homes still have their TV antennas. The old wideband UHF VHFs. Here we go. This is where we were walking yesterday. And if you watched yesterday's walk, I was talking about how we passed a lot of laundromats on 20th Avenue. So this was the first one we would have passed yesterday that I didn't even mention because at the time it was a moot point. Like it wasn't even a thing yet. It wasn't until we got past 86 where I started noticing we were walking by a lot of laundromats. So as you can see, we're forced to turn left here. And we'll continue here in a second. I got to get back across the street. But this becomes a one-way street now for a little while. I'll explain the whole Rutherford thing in a second when we get down past the post office. We're making good time here. I'm not walking as fast as I normally do on my fast walks, but I'm not walking slow either. I think what's helping me is just cutting right through each intersection, even if the light is red. So just keep moving. We're going to be passing St. Finbar in a second, so I have a very nice church to look at on our left. St. Finbar is one of the nicest churches you'll find. And what's cool about it is that it is shaped like a cross. So if you want to go on like Google Earth, and you want to look at the satellite photo of St. Finbar, it looks like a cross. It looks like a big cross on the ground. So a little extra credit homework that I'm giving you guys to do. This tree, every time I walk by this tree, this is a very old tree. This tree and that home over there date back at least, actually I don't know about the home, but I know the tree goes back at least 250 years. So and this is the post office here for the neighborhood. So I'm going to give you guys like a little funny thing here. So when I came back from the military, I lived on 16th Avenue, and I'm going to tell you what's interesting about that. 16th Avenue over by the 86th Street is the borderline between the two post office zones, 11228 and 11214. Okay, so this right here is, it's 11228. As you can see, it says Bath Beach Station, Brooklyn, New York, 11214. Actually, did I say 228? I think I said that. It's 11214. Well, there you go. That goes into the story I'm about to tell, the confusion. When I was living on 16th Avenue, you could use either zip code. You could either use the 11228 or the 11214. And you would still get your mail. The only difference would be whether your mail entered through 19th Avenue or whether it entered through 13th Avenue, and then it depended on, wherever it entered is which mailman you was going to get. So I don't know if that's still the case, but it was definitely something I used to deal with back in the day. Here is St. Finbar. All right, we're getting close to 18th Avenue. We're going to turn again. We'll talk about Rutherford. Matter of fact, let me get in the street here so you guys can see. So, if you notice, past the light, if you keep going, it's still one way, but it's not Benson Avenue. It turns into Rutherford Place. But it'll run you into the school down there on 17th Avenue, and then you definitely have to make the right back onto Benson Avenue. We're just going to make the right here. This right here, I'll turn around and show you guys. This is the Italian cultural center here on 18th Avenue. Let me get across the street, give you guys a better look, because I'm going to get hit with sunlight anyway. So they have a nice swimming pool in the top floor there. Membership is pretty expensive though, so you could go online and look up their site. But they have a nice Olympic-sized pool up there. They have things for exercise. They have like a gym in there. They got a bunch of stuff in there, a gym. All right, so we are back on the two-way laned road of Benson Avenue for the rest of it. And this is the Benson Avenue that'll start arguments. This is where people argue whether or not this is Bensonhurst or Bath Beach. The FedEx guy here is bringing me a box. He walked right by me. We're gonna get back onto the sunny side. We're now gonna go for the rest of the way to 14th Avenue. That's where this is gonna end. So we should be there in a few minutes. Well, not a few, but maybe another 10. Some of these nice old homes here are still around and they have been renovated, so there's no intention of tearing them down. The one across the street here on the corner of Bay 16. You got that other one over there. Looks like I'm probably going to take a stop here at 17th Avenue for the light. Take a nice little break here for a second. Got the school over here on 17th Avenue. There's actually two schools. There's one back there and one in the front. The one in the back there used to be a schoolyard, and then they added a second school. So it's really two different schools. And as it turns out, my nephew is a teacher in one of the schools. He's an English teacher. Yeah, I got a Tesla truck over here on the corner. I'm sure everybody is aware of the news and what's been going on in the country in the last few days with the terrorist attacks. They haven't fully confirmed that the Tesla truck was a terrorist attack yet. They're leaning towards it. They don't know what's going on with that guy. That is an odd story. That was a really strange story, the Tesla truck one. You see a lot of these homes are still the old original homes that have been lining Benson Avenue for many years. We're coming up to where I used to live. I still live in the neighborhood, you know. I'm sure everybody knows that, but I don't live down here on Benson Avenue. It's Bay 13th. This is where I lived, by the way, when I came out, when I left the military. This is the block I moved back to. It was really my friend's mother's apartment. So, since, you know, I have a lot of friends, when I came back in 2001, I needed a place to live, and I was living on this block. This is the block I was telling you about with the zip codes. Because once you cross this 16th Avenue, then it's definitely the 13th Avenue post office. Here we go. Bay 11th. St. Francis is right down there. Let me tell you, back in the day, the fireworks shows that we would throw in the 90s during 4th of July were just nuts over here. Just nuts. To close down the whole avenue from Bay 11th all the way down to 15th. Just light fireworks all night. Now, this is where I used to live, over here on the corner. This house, when I was living here, it actually looked different. Then it was renovated. This actually used to be a front entrance right here where you're looking, where this gate is. This is actually an old gate that used to be there. And then this tree was planted by me and my father when they were doing all the construction down here. They had to do all of the water mains down here and the drains, because we used to get a lot of flooding. And I remember we used to have a tree there, and when they were delivering trees, my father was like, "Oh, we'll do it for you. You know, we'll lay the tree in and stuff." So I helped my dad plant that tree in 1989. And then he threw a whole bunch of Miracle Grow. And the tree pretty much took off. That's why the tree looks much older than only, what, 30 years? What is that? Let's just say it was rounded off. 1990, 2000. Yeah. About 34, 35 years. 15th Avenue. All right, this is it. This is the last stretch of the walk. The next avenue we're gonna hit is the last one we can't go any further. Well, we could, but it's not Benson Avenue anymore after this. This runs you right into Dyker Park. So I want to thank everyone for taking this walk along this pretty quiet avenue. Nothing much going on. Now these homes are old. these homes, if you look up there, they got the old piano hoists, those metal things sticking out. It looks like a backwards S up there. Those were used back in the old days to hoist things into the house that couldn't fit, like a piano. That's why they're called piano hoists. So a lot of these houses still have the piano hoists from hundreds of years ago. I'll show you the next one. The one across the street has one. If you could see it over there in the front, and then over here, there's another one right here. It's another piano hoist. They used to use a pulley system to pull, when people moved in, to pull, you know, big objects into the top floors because they didn't fit in the staircases. You can see the piano hoist right there, right by the window. Now, those windows are not the same windows. The old windows by the piano hoists were much bigger. I guess over the years, there's another one over here, another piano hoist. You know, from renovation and stuff, they changed the size of the windows. You could still use them. There's nothing wrong with using them. It's just that you're only going to be able to hoist things that could fit through that window. All right, this is it, guys. 14th Avenue. So we walked the complete distance from Stillwell Avenue, Lafayette High School to PS 229. So we started on one end, we started where there was a school, it was a high school. Now this is elementary school right here. It's 229. And this is 14th Avenue. So I want to thank everybody for tagging along, and I will catch everyone on the next one. So take care and bye-bye.